financial problems, elder law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by Thav Gross. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Hi, welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. This is part two of a two-part segment called Synergy, Family Debt Issues Cross All Corners. Brian Small, good morning.
Good morning, Ken.
Pat Samasco, elder law expert, good to see you.
Thanks for having me again.
Jeffrey Kirshner, workers' compensation, social security, disability expert.
Good morning. Nice to see you again.
Synergy is the topic. We've been started off with our last segment with two couples, a big family, Rocky and Adrian, 80 and 78, and their children, Sean and Marcy, 50 and 48, along with their two kids. Their finances and disaster hit. The disaster that hit was Rocky and Adrian, who were doing pretty well in retirement. Rocky had a stroke, and now he's looking at the prospects of needing nursing home care. Marcy and Sean and Marcy were making around $156,000. They were just getting by paying their bills, and Brian was talking about how they could improve their financial situation, but disaster hit for them as well because Sean got into a horrific car accident. He's now going to be out of work for at least a year, maybe indefinitely. They've lost $8,000 a month of income. You've got a big problem. So to recap, giving you the numbers and putting them on the board, Rocky and Adrian's situation was this. They had a house worth $175,000, no mortgage, $50,000 of cash in the bank, $200,000 IRA, car paid for $15,000. They were carrying $40,000 of credit card debt. They had a net worth of $400,000, and they had $5,200 a month coming in between Rocky's Social Security, Adrian's, Rocky's pension, the required minimum distributions he had to take from his IRA, gave him $5,200 a month. So they were okay on income, but he suffered a stroke. He's went to rehab. He's back home. The docs are telling Adrian that he's likely to suffer more, not long for independent living. Prospect on the horizon, nursing home costs are $9,000 to $12,000 a month. Sean and Marcy, they were not in as good a financial shape. They had a house worth $175,000, mortgage of $180,000 on the first mortgage, second mortgage of $25,000, $5,000 of cash in the bank, $50,000 IRA, total assets $25,000 net of the house, $50,000 in credit card debt for Sean, $25,000 in credit card debt for Marcy, lingering tax bill of $15,000 from 2012, total liabilities $90,000, net worth $65,000. They had income coming in. Sean was a real estate agent, Marcy a marketing rep. They were making $13,000 a month gross, netting about $94.50. Their expenses with their mortgage, their $1,875 of credit card debt, their health insurance and everything else came to $89.25. Their net cash flow was positive $525 a month. But disaster is now hit for both of these couples, and the situation is, what are we going to do? For Sean, he's going to be in the hospital for a sustained period of time. The doctors are saying you're not going to be working for the next year. You may never be working again. This is a horrific situation that's hit both of these couples. We need to figure out, using our synergy of all of our experts, Pat with elder law, Medicaid planning, Jeffrey with Social Security, disability, Brian with debt issues, how do we help this aggregate family so that they can make ends meet and survive in the face of the disaster that they've hit? Let's talk about Adrian and Rocky first. Pat, when you end up, what's the average stay at a nursing home?
Well, it's about 32 months.
32 months. And when you
32
say
months.
average cost $10,000 to pick a number?
And I tell my dad had the horrible stroke at age 61, and we didn't have to put him into the nursing home until he was 81, but it's because Mom was home that could take care of him. He could have lived in the nursing home for 20 years.
Yeah. So just take your 32 months.
Oh, it's
10,000 a
huge.
month
Oh,
is
yeah.
320,000.
Yeah.
Rocky and Adrian's net worth is 400,000.
There's no way they could pay for that. How on earth are they going to
Well,
pay for a nursing home for 32 months or
Sell the
20
house
years?
and
or-
just sell
Well,
the
if you
house
don't
and
do
pay.
anything, that's what happens. And if you go to independent living or assisted living, that's always private pay. So Medicaid is the government benefit that you'd want to go for for that situation. If you have to go to a nursing home, you'd want to go to a Medicaid-approved nursing home. And what Medicaid has is called the Spousal Impoverishment Act. They want to protect the spouse at home. So with planning techniques,
Well, you know, that's a big one. That's the thing that people quickly forget about is Rocky's going in the nursing home.
right.
Adrian is 78. She still has a life to live.
Right.
She needs a house and she needs income.
Yeah, and I looked thought a lot about that because Rocky, the only way he could stay home is his wife would be home to take care of him. If he passes away, she doesn't have a new husband to take care of him. So that's why we need to have that money to make sure that she has money there that can take care of her
All right,
for the rest of her life.
So using Medicaid planning, I see it. We've got two issues that I want you to explain.
Right.
We've got the assets that they have. What can they keep if they plan right versus what will they lose if they plan wrong? And then after we talk about the assets, I think a bigger issue is how much income is Adrian going to have left after Medicaid takes what it's entitled to?
Right. Well, for Medicaid purposes, the house is protected, and the first half of the assets up to $119,000. So my job is to protect everything.
Is that
else.
excluding the house on
Plus
half of the
house.
assets?
It's house plus half up to
All right,
$119,000.
so we've got an IRA of 200,000, and we got 50,000 of cash in the bank.
So 119. Let's call it 110 grand is protected immediately. So if you don't do anything, you'd be writing checks to the nursing home until
You'd lose that money.
Well, the nursing home will take until you spend every dime of the money. They won't tell you about getting on Medicaid. So
Until you've spent all that money, you can't even get on Medicaid.
well, no, people think until I spend that money down. Medicaid allows us to restructure that plan and do some Medicaid-approved annuities and income streams and income planning to protect all of that $250,000.
All right, so
hands down, no
before we
problem.
get to income, what about, do they get to keep the car too?
One car, a house.
So the Taurus is
Thank you.
protected, the house is protected, so we need to figure out how to save the 200,000 IRA and the 50,000 of cash.
Yeah,
After the break, you're going to tell us how.
no
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Thav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Samasco Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Worth Ave Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP.
Okay, Pat. Rocky and Adrian. Rocky's got this prospect of the nursing home. We're doing the Medicaid planning. First of all, the house. The house goes into a trust?
Well, no, the house I take the house out of a dad's name and put it into mom's name. The idea is we can protect all the assets while mom and dad are alive and one person's in the nursing home. So you want to get everything out of dad's name and put it into mom's name. Okay, and once it is to mom's name, we can start protecting it for Medicaid, because once we file, he's only allowed $2,000. So the house goes into her name. The IRAs, we get them into her name. The bank accounts all go into her name. But what you have to watch out for, and this is a synergy, if she dies, it can't go back to dad because Medicaid will be cut off. It's got to drop down to the kids.
Children.
And if the kids are having all these problems with credit cards and potential bankruptcies, you got to clear up that mess, or you have to use special trust agreements to protect mom's money.
And we do use special trust agreements
Oh,
all the
yeah,
time
they
with
work
a
great.
spendthrift trust with
Yeah.
discretionary powers to the
Yeah,
trustee.
that's the key. You have to ask that next question, though, is, hey, what about your kids?
Sure.
So
All right,
that's
so
what we do.
before the kids, all right, so let's talk about Adrian for a second. You have to take this IRA of the $200,000. How do you the IRA, she can't just keep it as cash as an IRA,
We
can
can't
she?
keep it as, we can keep part of it as cash, but not in his name. It's got to be in her name.
So we
the-
convert it to an IRA, into an
well,
annuity?
Well, there's different ways that we can do it. Remember, she can keep the first $110,000. So she keeps $50,000 in the bank, and she keeps another $60,000 of IRA.
Well, what if she just kept $50,000 in the bank and took the $200,000? Could she convert that into a income stream as an annuity?
Yes.
Because that would be about $1,600 a month at her age.
It could be, or we can shorten it. It has to be life expectancy or less.
Yeah,
but
based on
that's
her
a
age.
good round number.
All right, so see,
Go
let
ahead.
me know if these numbers work. Before this calamity happened, Rocky and Adrian had $5,200 a month coming in. She's going to lose Rocky's $2,000 of Social Security. She's going to lose his $500 pension. She's also, if we have to convert the IRA, there's no longer going to be that $900 a month, which were the average of the minimum distributions. So those are all the negatives. But she'll gain this annuity payment of around $1,600. And then the next issue that came back is Rocky had $25,000 of credit card debt, which comes out to about $625 a month. Should she pay that?
Absolutely
No.
not. No. There's
But-
no reason, because
She's not on the hook on those cards.
even in people say, well, they're going to get sued, or Rocky's going to get sued. Who cares?
Rocky's
they can't
not
get
collectible.
anything from Rocky. Rocky has, by going into the nursing home, has become completely uncollectible because Medicaid gets the first bite at the apple.
And then if he dies, she doesn't have to pay the credit card payments. So part of the spend down is paying off debt if you want to, but that would be a horrible
But you
thing.
don't spend. People
No.
make the mistake of spending down
Oh,
and paying
horrible.
that debt. We want to hang on to that money.
We might
So
want to
she's
pay
gonna-
down Adrian's credit card
Yeah,
bills.
she's going to save
But
her $625
Rocky
a month.
can't do that, though, can he?
Oh, yeah.
Can
Absolutely.
Rocky
Oh, yeah.
pay down his wife's credit card
Oh, yeah,
bills?
no problem.
So
Because
that's
it's not his money or her money,
their
it's
money.
all our money.
All right, so after we do this, Adrian ends up with about $4,000 a month, $4,025 a month. She's still got the $50,000 of cash in reserve, and she doesn't have as much expense because Rocky's now in the nursing home at that point. So and the house is still paid for.
Right.
She's still okay. The point is, if she didn't do this planning, all of the money would have gone to the nursing home. And then at that point, when they had no money left for Adrian, then Medicaid would have kicked in because they would have been broke.
Right, and people think, oh my God, you're going to a Medicaid nursing home, they're going to throw us down in some dump somewhere. It's absolutely wrong. That's the old
Same
days.
nursing
The
homes.
nursing home now are gorgeous. Some of them are absolutely
And private
gorgeous.
pay and Medicaid beds
It's
are in the same
bed.
facility.
It's
Absolutely.
It's not the
Same-
same. It's
same
the
bed.
same bed.
Okay.
It's the same bed.
Sean and Marcy, let's shift over. Sean's in the hospital. He's not going back to work for over a year. If he goes back to work, they've lost $8,000 a month. What can you do for him, Jeff, from the standpoint of disability, Social Security, workers' comp? Is he eligible? What does Sean do?
Couple issues. First of all, right away we've got a workers' compensation claim. If the incident happened in the course and scope of his employment, he's an employee.
Assuming he was employed as a real estate
working for
salesman.
somebody, absolutely. We have a workers' compensation lawsuit. He's off of work 2 weeks or longer. We can file a claim for his wage loss benefits. Also incorporated in workers' compensation would be for the reasonable care and treatment for anything he needs for his work-related injury, whether it be hospital stays, whether it be medications, whether it be physical therapy, and mileage to and from the facilities.
He would have had to been driving to a showing or a real estate
Well, in the
call.
course and scope of his employment,
Right.
correct.
If Sean was an independent contractor as a salesman, would he be eligible for workers'
He
comp?
would
or does it
not, although
depend?
some people who are independent contractors, although they're not entitled to comp, other people would carry a private disability policy, so you could look under a potentially
that's-
disability policy.
So that's a lesson to be learned there, because a lot of times people in that industry will be independents and they won't carry anything, and then in that case you don't get any workers' comp.
Right, there is no comp, so you have to, if you're an independent contractor, you really need to protect yourself and get some sort of private policy because you're not going to be covered, you're not considered an employee.
What
But they got
about
the car insurance too, though. They can fall back on.
Well, possibly if you have a lawsuit, but who knows if it's not your fault.
Well, it's first party though. You can get for your medical.
he gets
and
benefits
lost
there
wages,
for his
yeah.
medical? It's covering his
Correct.
medical
And lost wages
lost
for-
wages. After that, what about Social Security disability? What's he entitled to there?
Well, with regard to this, if he's going to be off of work for 12 months or longer, then we can file a claim for Social Security disability benefits. We come to my office and we can file a claim for him. That process is going to take a while, though. That process could take him 14, 16 months.
Does he
What's the
have to
benefit
be
he's
off
entitled to?
work for 12 months before you can file for Social Security disability? Or do you have to know that there's no likelihood that he's ever going to return work? Or
You
can
could actually
at least be
apply
off for 12
right.
months?
You can actually apply at any time. In order to get those benefits, you either have to be off for 12 months, or when they look at your case, the anticipated duration of the disability has to be 12 months or longer.
And then do you get covered for the period of those 12 months, or you only get covered going forward after that?
No, you can get your back
The
benefits
doctors
as well.
are saying he ain't going back to work for at least a year, so he would be able to get those benefits.
Well,
Correct.
We'll pick this up right after the break.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call Thav Gross.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call Thav Gross. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you're approaching retirement and don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your investments, and your savings. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Putting a solid strategy in place with Samasco Law legally protects your assets as well as your wishes. Since a will doesn't cover you medically or financially, Samasco Law goes beyond ordinary asset management protection to safeguard everything you have.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call Thav Gross.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call Thav Gross today, 888-235-HELP.
Time to do announcements. Want to remind our viewers to listen to us on the radio, Tuesdays noon to 1, 6 to 7 p.m. on Law and Reality Live on WCHB 1200 AM 99.9 FM. On Thursdays, we're with Cliff Russell on 9:10 a.m. from 3 to 4 p.m. for Law and Reality Now. We've got seminars coming up. On Wednesday, March 1, 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m., Eliminating Debt is not March Madness, it's Marching On to Victory. We're going to talk about, and it'd be so nice, we're looking at springtime, we're looking at March Madness, but it's not madness to get rid of debt. It's smart, it's a smart play. We're going to talk about all the methods and systems we use to eliminate debt, bankruptcy, solutions outside of bankruptcy, how to solve tax problems. Seminar is from 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m., March 1. It's about preserving future income for you and your family, so when you get to 60, 65, you've got something to retire with. Sign up at lawandreality.com, thavgross.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Then on Wednesday, March 15th from 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m., we have another seminar on estate planning. It is called Estate Plans Are Needed for the Living. If you're alive, you better attend. 6 to 7:30 p.m., we're going to walk you through the things that you need for a proper estate plan. A durable power of attorney, a healthcare power of attorney, a trust or a will, the proper things that you need to put in place. It's not expensive, but it's a big problem for people when they don't do it and suddenly a loved one needs help while they're living and there's no power of attorney. You're in the hospital and there's no healthcare power of attorney. It's a situation that people go through the worst time of their life, and then they add a disaster onto it because they didn't properly prepare. Seminar is free, 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Sign up at lawandreality.com, thavgross.com, or call 888-235-HELP. Want to remind everyone that you're always able to come in for a free consultation, whether it's a debt issue, a tax issue, a business issue, estate planning, elder law issue, or Social Security, disability, or workman's comp issue. You just go to the websites and click a request a consultation or call 888-235-HELP, and we're glad to have you in here. If you go to the websites, you'll see there's 3 free reports available. You can download them, one dealing with foreclosure, one dealing with Social Security from Pat, and another one addressing methods of financing a new business in Michigan. 14 different ways of refining financing, as well as the need to know in starting a new business. Now back to the show.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
Thav Gross specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're Thav Gross. Our firm will solve your problem.
All right, so we're back. All right, so Jeffrey, Sean's got a horrific accident. I think the first question that people are going to think to themselves is, should he just go and file Social Security disability on his own, or should he use a lawyer? In my mind, he'll be able to substantiate the disability because he's probably not getting out of the hospital for a long period of time from what we're looking at. But you don't have time to get it wrong. You should do everything to get it right. So the way I see it is, go to you first for the Social Security disability application.
Absolutely. I do it in my office. I can do it properly for you. There's a lot of information they're going to want. It's not rocket science, but it does need to be done properly. And the problem is that people apply, most people are going to get denied right away.
Wait, I gotta jump in here.
Yeah, go for it.
There is no he, there is no they. He's laid up in a hospital bed, had a horrible stroke with tubes coming all over.
No, he's not Rocky, he's Sean.
No, Sean.
Sean
had a horrible car accident.
Right.
He's laid up. He can't come into the office. He can't get medical. He's incapacitated, right? He needs medical power of attorney and a financial power of attorney. You can't get medical records without someone that can sign on his behalf.
Wait,
you can't file
did he have a medical power and a durable power of attorney?
Let's hope so.
No, probably not, because those guys never get
55% of everybody
sick.
doesn't.
They never gonna get sick. They're gonna get
right.
That's why the younger people have to have the medical power of attorney. It happens every day in the office. Mom, dad needs it. The kids need it just as important.
And so good lesson learned. Let's assume he has it, so now he can empower.
This is the rule. You got to have it before you get sick.
Absolutely. And he's sick now, so let's assume he did have it in this case.
Thank
so
God.
now he can empower Marcy to act on his behalf. You go forward with the Social Security disability.
Correct.
You think in this case he'll still get denied?
Yes, he absolutely will.
Is this the way the
people-
government works?
Most people, even if they're 50 or older, get denied right away.
Even when he's in the hospital.
Correct. You're going to get denied. Most people get denied no matter how horrific
See, I
the injuries
grind my
are.
teeth when I hear that.
And the problem is that people think that they apply first and see an attorney later. Well, the problem is that you apply, you're most likely going to get denied. When you get that love letter from Social Security, you only have 60 days to file a disability appeal.
Jeff, here's the question though. I'm got all these problems going on. I can't afford an attorney. How am I going to deal with this problem? Social Security, I mean, I got to come see you.
It comes
Aren't
out
you
of the
going to
benefit,
charge you
doesn't it?
money?
It comes out, but there's no fee to come see me. I don't get money unless I get money for you. There's no upfront cost. There's no filing fees.
See, there's a
I
lot
got
of
a bigger
confusion
problem.
with people.
Even
Right.
when he gets his Social Security disability, that's about $2,640 a month, assuming he gets the maximum
that's the
benefit.
maximum,
Because he's
correct.
making good money,
Right.
and he's going to be eligible. He paid into the system. But when you crunch his numbers, they lost $5,800 worth of income. They're still $2,600 a month short if they pay all their bills. Brian, what are they supposed to do?
Wait, before that though, mom can't give him money to live. Mom, her husband,
Adrian.
Yeah, the mom, Adrian,
Because
cannot
of their
mon-
Medicaid problem.
Yeah, and that she can't give him money to live because he would have to return it within 5 years of Dad going into
So
the
they've got
nursing
to.
home.
They may have to borrow some money to float it from either their IRA or somewhere. But Brian, what about how do you? What about they're still $2,600 a
Well,
month short after they're getting benefits?
If you remember the previous segment, we said that they weren't a candidate for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Well,
Right.
they are now.
because
Their income is now below the median income.
losing that $8,000.
Losing the $8,000 a month is a complete change in circumstances. And let's assume that he's going back to work a year from now or 8 months from now or whatever it is.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't make a difference. Right now, the situation says that they should take advantage of his incapacity and eliminate the debt through a bankruptcy.
and
And
they need to do that
Let me
before
illustrate it.
Mom and Dad die, because if they get the IRA, it's called a beneficiary IRA. It's not protected in bankruptcy.
That is
anymore.
100%
And let's
correct.
illustrate it. If all of a sudden they get rid of the credit card debt, Sean's now they're going to get rid of Sean's car because he doesn't need to have a car because he's not going to be driving because he's disabled. They reduce their expenses. They go from negative 2,600 to maybe negative 86. Plus, they're not going to have as much food expense.
You can
and living
adjust
expenses.
$86.
They go. The bottom line is they can be positive with the benefit of the Social Security that you obtain for them.
Right, and if they file
Workers'
for
comp.
bankruptcy before any back benefits are paid,
They get to keep all that money.
all that back benefit will go right to them.
So they should file.
And
They need
before
to
Mom
file
and Dad
before the
die.
back benefit money comes,
And
before
before
Mom
Mom
and Dad dies. Well, right now, fortunately, Adrian's okay. Rocky's the one who's on the brink. That's a wrap. You can see how synergy works. It's a bad situation for the whole family, but at least they can survive.